So for more on this, let's speak to Emily Woglum in Washington. She is the Executive Vice President of Ocean Conservancy. Thank you very much for speaking to us. And we've seen today what's been billed as the largest global one-day event. Give us a sense of the number of countries and the people participating in World Cleanup Day.
Yes, thanks, Miriam, for having me on to talk about this. This is the single largest volunteer event in the world. And actually, this year it is World Cleanup Day, but every year the Ocean Conservancy hosts on this day the International Coastal Cleanup. We joined forces this year with the World Cleanup Day to encourage even more people to come out. So time will tell how many people we've been able to engage and get out across hundreds of countries that should be participating today. In the International Coastal Cleanup last year, we were successful in getting 800,000 volunteers to come out on a single day to clean up their beach, their waterway, their favorite park, and to collect over 9,000 tons of trash from those beaches and waterways.
Plastic pollution, we were just hearing in Catherine Soy's report, is a big problem. It affects the environment, it's polluting oceans, it's affecting wildlife. How serious a challenge is this? Because, of course, we as humans use plastic and its production levels are extremely high.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tremendously huge problem. I mean, the statistic that your reporter gave, 8 million metric tons a year, the equivalent of one garbage truck a minute dumping into the ocean. And we know that when it gets into the ocean, it interacts with marine mammals, with fish, with birds. There are, in fact, over 800 species of marine animals that have been found to be impacted by this plastic, either by ingesting it or by getting entangled in it. And we find it everywhere, in the bellies of the smallest plankton to the bellies of the largest blue whales, from the deepest ocean trenches into the remote parts of the Arctic sea ice. And there are still questions about what that really means. We know it's getting into the food chain. We know that 25 to 28% of fish, when you pull them off the market shelf, have plastic pellets in their bellies. Now, usually humans don't eat the bellies of fish, but you know, there are a lot of questions that still have to be answered in terms of what the real impact of this tremendous problem is.
So how do you tackle the problem? It's extraordinary to have mobilized so many millions of people for a one-day event, but how do you get people to change their everyday habits? Well,
exactly. I mean, and the truth is that individuals are incredibly important. That's why we love the International Coastal Cleanup and World Cleanup Day, getting people out to clean up their local parks and their local beaches. It can definitely feel like as an individual you can't have an impact, but think about that number I gave. Last year alone, our volunteers cleaned 9,000 tons of trash from that kept it out of the ocean. I think it was over 21 million items of plastic that didn't get into the ocean. So that's a really important starting place. And it's important not just because of the plastic that we keep out of the ocean on the cleanup day, but because as individuals taking action, whether it's through a cleanup or by skipping the straw or by using a reusable bag or a reusable coffee mug, what you're doing is you're signaling to governments, to industry, to civil society, to your friends and neighbors that you care about the ocean, that you care about pollution, and that you want change. Because it really, in addition to individuals, it's going to take governments, it's going to take businesses, it's going to take multiple strategies and multiple actors to really solve this problem.
From Washington, Emily Woglum, thank you.